When you think of Tai Chi, what comes to mind? Probably slow, gentle movements in a park, right? Well, what if that's just scratching the surface? Today, we're going to look at the hidden philosophy behind Tai Chi, a really powerful strategy that has less to do with fighting and a whole lot more to do with, well, winning at life.
For most of us, this is exactly what Tai Chi is. It's a gentle exercise, something for health and relaxation. And look, that's totally true. But thinking that's all there is to it, it's like only seeing the very tip of an iceberg. We're about to explore the massive hidden depth just beneath the surface. So, what if those slow movements aren't really about being gentle, but about being incredibly strategic? What if the real core purpose of Tai Chi has been hiding in plain sight this whole time? Let's just reframe this whole thing for a second. What if Tai Chi was never actually about learning how to win a fight? What if, instead, it's a deep, profound discipline in the art of not losing? You know, that one little shift in perspective, it changes absolutely everything. See, the goal isn't to overpower someone else. It's all about strategic self-preservation. It teaches you how to manage yourself and the situation so that you never, ever get backed into a corner where losing is your only way out. Okay, so how does it do that? How does that actually work? Well, this whole philosophy is built on 5 core principles of stability. Let's walk through them, because this is where the practical wisdom really starts to shine. These 5 principles, they're the building blocks, but don't think of them as separate rules. They're more like interconnected strategies that all work together to create this unshakable stability, both physically and, more importantly, in how we make decisions. First up, perception before action. This is huge. Before you make any move, you have to sense everything. Your own balance, the pressure you're under, the timing. If the situation feels foggy or you're not sure what's going on, you wait. You just don't act until you can see clearly. It's all about observation, not just blind reaction. And that leads to a totally different way of thinking about success. It's not about some big, flashy takedown. The real victory is just staying on your feet, remaining intact. As long as you avoid permanent, irreversible damage, you haven't lost. In this world, self-preservation is the win. The third principle is all about resisting that temptation for a quick win. It is so easy to overreach for a small, immediate gain, right? But if that one move throws off your long-term balance, well, it's a bad trade. Lasting stability is always the top priority. Next, we have restrained action. Now, from the outside, this might look like you're being passive, but it's not. It's actually a really active form of risk analysis. It's the wisdom to see when the cost of acting, of pushing an issue, of forcing something, is just too high. It's what you might call strategic patience. And finally, there's continuous correction. This one teaches that real strength isn't about stubbornly digging in your heels when you've made a mistake. No way. It's about being responsive. If you realize you push too hard, you pull back. If your balance is a little off, you adjust. You don't defend your errors, you correct them instantly. So these are really fascinating principles for a martial art, right? But their true power, their real magic, is in how we can apply them to our modern lives. This is where this ancient wisdom becomes an incredibly practical skill for right now, for today. Just look at this comparison. Our world is constantly screaming at us. Act fast, respond now, prove you're strong. But Tai Chi offers this powerful counter idea. No, understand first, stay balanced above all else, and know the incredible power of when not to force things. Being able to keep your judgment clear when the pressure's on and you don't know what's going to happen, that is the real skill here. Think about it. In a tense meeting, instead of rushing for a deal that makes you unstable, you wait for clarity. In a heated argument, instead of just reacting, you preserve your own balance first. It's about navigating this chaotic world without losing yourself in the process. And that really brings us to the core takeaway. True mastery isn't about how much force you can apply. It's about knowing how much force to hold back. The real skill is the wisdom of restraint. So that kind of leaves us with a question, doesn't it? In a world that demands we all push harder and go faster, where in your life could you apply just a little less force? What might change if you focused not on winning, but simply on the art of not losing?